Trying to play her music here.
As long as the three wheels are narrating this dream, there's no limit to what we all can achieve. Welcome to the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast. Really tiny, without thrill. And MMA, fully recapping the aftermath. To the mic, through the ropes, from the mat. No regrets from this shadow zone. There's no match for this podcast. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get it on. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get it on. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get it on. Let's get ready to fight. This is a war machine. Through sweat and tears we chase the unseen. Harness the rage in this gritty scene. Your fists are your words, your actions keen. Rips up on the hearts ablaze with fear. Breaking the chains that brought us here. Podcast warrior, show we're alive. Three wheels cutting through legends to ride. Stand tall as the world trembles. Unlock the dreams that no one can dissemble.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast. Yes, another wrestling podcast. I am Willie Tiny, and my hosts today are Will the Thrill and LA Willie.
Yeah.
And we have the Monster Factory's heavyweight champion with us tonight, Mr. Chris Desmond. Chris,
hello,
how are
hello.
you doing?
I'm doing great. First of all, that intro song kicks ass. I don't know where you got it from, but I like that. I like that song a lot.
Thanks,
A friend of
man.
mine did it
Thanks.
from I knew him in high school.
Thank you for
So
coming.
let's start with some basic questions here. When did you start watching wrestling?
So I would have to. It's about late '90s, right? When I was randomly flipping through channels, and I found SmackDown, and the first guys I see are the Hardy Boys, and instantly drew me in. So yeah, late '90s, early 2000s is really when it started to when I really sunk my teeth into wrestling.
Okay, now with that said, when did you decide to become a pro wrestler?
So, I mean, the dream was always there, right? Growing up, just being a fan of it all. It's one of those things I've always wanted to do, but I never knew the avenue to get there, right? It wasn't until I went to my first WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania 35 up in MetLife. I was standing there. Becky Lynch had just won the main event after a 7-hour show, long as hell. But there was a moment where I stood by the rampway while she was still making her way up, holding the two titles up. And I was just like, this is the feeling that I'm missing in my life. So shortly after, a couple months after WrestleMania 35, I joined the Monster Factory.
Cool. That was going to be my question to you. It's like, when did you join the Monster Factory?
So it was September of 2019. It was late 2019, before a couple months before the lockdown of 2020. So, but yeah, it's been a couple years now. So,
All right, so when you decided to join the Monster Factory, like you said, you started watching the late '90s, early 2000. When you decided to become a wrestler, do you realize what style you wanted to present when you?
sort of. I mean, I kind of display a lot of high flying stuff now. Not so much when I first started, because growing up, I was a karate kid, and I was very strike oriented when I first started. But watching wrestling, biggest inspirations are the Hardy Boys and Rob Van Dam. I kind of try to incorporate, try to integrate a lot of their styles into what I do now. But as far as like when I first got in, I always wanted to be the high flyer. So getting to showcase that now is pretty cool. Sometimes doesn't always feel the greatest when you land, but it's very, very exhilarating.
Well, demonstrate that well with the spinal the spinal no the spiral what's
It's the spiral tap.
spiral tap. That's what I was thinking. Not
Hmm.
or spinal tap.
It's a play
Spiral
on
or spiral
words. Yeah, it's a
spiral
play on
tap.
words.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
nice.
close to it.
yeah,
So, what is and when did World Renowned start?
Okay, so World Renown was the brainchild of John Alba. He wanted to take a group of young guys who weren't really doing anything, and he wanted to, you know, be they're basically showcasing the future of the business. It originally started with Wonder Boy Brian Morris, the Focus Nick Petit, and Christian Rocco. I was not in the original lineup for World Renowned. I think that happened a year later when I we ended up kicking Christian Rocco out of the group, and I came along and made it better.
That's interesting. I did not know that. I don't even think
Yeah.
Nick Petit mentioned that when we
No.
had him on.
Mm-mm.
I
Yeah,
don't think he did.
it was an interesting transition. Me and Rocco both found out that the same time. Of because Dan wanted to switch a whole lot of things up, and it gave me an opportunity to show what I was capable of, and working alongside those guys was just a blessing in disguise. I learned so much being in world renowned. Um, but yeah, it all I was not in the original lineup for that group, but to say the least, I'm glad I was able to join up with them at some point because I learned a lot from being with them. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. Um, can you tell us about your time with the middleweight medallion championship?
yeah, so that is the first title I got to hold at the Monster Factory. Um, it's essentially the cruiserweight title, or cruiserweight medallion rather, and I I guess it Dan entrusted me to be able to carry the division at the time, to work with all these, faster, more agile guys, and to kind of showcase what you can do as a singles competitor. Because up until the time, we did a lot of tag stuff, but to really just highlight what I can do solo, um, was really quite the experience, and I got to work with a lot of great guys. Smiley and Ty Awesome from Delaware, and Liam Black and Mark Raspet Jr. Mark Raspet Jr. is like probably one of my favorite opponents,
Put on a lot of
and
bangers with him.
oh yeah, we
Mhm.
sure did, especially the last 2 out of 3 falls match that we had. Me
Nice.
and Mark tore the roof off the place. It was great. But yeah, the middleweight medallion really gave me a push, to really test myself as a singles competitor, and it was a lot of trial and error, but it was a lot of fun, really.
There you go. So now, Chris, let's talk about Turkey Slam 2024. Talk to us about that.
Bro, where do I begin? Because the whole show, top to bottom, was awesome. My, you know, I the first match I had that night was against TNA superstar Steve Macklin,
Wow.
and you know, if you've ever seen that guy on TV, he's an intense guy. But to be able to stand across the ring with him, oh boy, like I could feel the intensity just across the room. Uh, I knew it was going to be hard hitting, but it gave me an opportunity to show that I was ready, to like step up. And my match with Steve went over so well, and I think the reaction that we got from the crowd is exactly what we wanted. Uh, to then fast forward to the Turkey Slam Rumble, I came in. I think it was like number 30 out of like 40 people, and the crowd was behind me by the rumble by the time the rumble started, and you know next thing you know, I'm winning the whole thing, eliminating Travis Jacobs. And, that night was, I think, super emotional for me because not only did I get to wrestle Steve Macklin, I got to win Turkey Slam Rumble, which was one of the first shows I got to work as a student of the Monster Factory. But I think it's mostly because, I was giving a chance, and that's all I can really ask for is for the opportunity to really show what I'm capable of and to put their trust in me to put out a good product for their brand.
Weeks leading up to Turkey Slam, you were still with World Renown, and
Hmm.
and the fans were getting behind you then.
Yeah. Yeah. So like with that, I think we told a story well over a year if you were really paying attention.
Hmm.
The cracks were always there, but it's one of those things where, it was always brushed under the rug, but eventually it was going to blow up on us, you know what I mean? And then I think it really started going downhill when John Alba left or Nick kicked him out of the group. Wasn't my decision, and Nick made that decision on his own. Um, so I think the story that we were able to tell for the last year or so really made Turkey Slam really special, um, because we had there's a lot of um, open-ended parts to the story, and I think dumping Nick and Brian out in Turkey Slam, the people lost their minds.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh, we just
All right.
talked about Turkey Slam. So how special was Monsters of Real 2025 for you?
Oof. Um, the night winning the Monster Factory Championship, correct? Um, yeah, I didn't expect it to happen so quickly after it was only what 3 months after Turkey Slam. Um, I think that in between time, you know, we were we were all set, we're getting ready to go. Um, and when the idea came to have it when people are like, the show's finally over, everyone's ready to go, everyone's like the adrenaline's up. I think Nick Petit had just won the championship, and then the music hits and everyone's like, what's going on? And to have an impromptu match for the championship, I don't think we were able to surprise the people, and it was to have that moment to share. First of all, if you watch it back, the whole thing is just absolute cinema. The camera angles, the facial expressions, the emotion. Um, I don't think we could have done a better job that night than what we ended up creating that night. And to finally feel the 3 count happen and holding that title in my hands, it just
It was actually a
everything.
triple 3 count. It was three
Yeah,
referees.
wasn't expecting that. It was I was taken aback by it because not everyone got the first count at the same time. So I was like, someone's going to count the three, right? I hope they're all going to count the three, or else this is going to be very disappointing for me. But no, it was just all the refs jumped in, and I was just caught me off guard. I didn't know that was happening, but 3 count happened, and became your new Monster Factory champion. A title I've had my eyes on for a very long time.
That
Awesome.
that was such a special moment. Like it, all the talent, not all the talent, but mostly all the talent was slowly coming to the ring and watching this
Mhm,
unfold as you're
mhm.
about to get uh, the Heat Seeker. Is that how you? No, he kicked out of the Heat Seeker. Your
yeah,
kick.
I was the first one to do that, by the
And-
way.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then you went up and hit the spiral tap.
Yeah, absolute. And again, all credit to Nick. He playing such a pivotal part of that story. I think it really made the crowd get up off of their feet when he got after he beat Mike Z. To have me come in and take over. Um, I think we created something really special that night. And to me, it still doesn't feel real to me, even like to this day, holding it for about a month now. Um, yeah, sometimes I have to go back and watch to make sure it was real.
Of course.
Nothing wrong with that.
Like Towns just coming to the ring, and Missy
Mhm.
Sampson's coming to the ring, and soon as you got that 3 count, everybody was so happy for you. It's so
Yes,
well
they were.
deserved.
Yeah,
They were
for
banging
sure.
on the mat for you, the
Yeah,
ring.
for sure. Like once the 3 count happened, I think, I feel like the show part of the whole thing was over, and the reality of what was happening took over. These a lot of my peers watched, and to pat myself on the old back, to pat myself on the back. I put a lot of work in at the Monster Factory, and to have these people that I've worked so closely with the last couple of years, uh, watching me have this moment, it was a lot of emotion that I didn't even know how to take in at that time. Um, I think once when I won the title, like one of the first people that I hugged was I think it was the Notorious Mimi, actually. I and then we had a small moment there, and all these people started coming into the ring, and then they gave me a microphone, and then I was just like, I don't even know what I'm gonna say, but kind of just off the cuff with that one. So, but it was something special.
You're right about that.
Yeah. All right. Here's some numbers for you, Chris.
hmm
22 minutes and 58 seconds.
Uh,
Hmm.
what's
Ring a
that?
bell?
I have an idea, but is that is
Nope.
that is that how long the street fight went for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know the
As
22 minutes
as
was
as
familiar.
as someone who hasn't really watched you in the ring, as
Mhm.
many times I've been to the Monster Factory, I will have to give a chef's kiss to that match.
Oh yes.
Um, it surprised the crap out of me seeing Notorious Mimi go as hardcore as she did,
Mhm.
and you, dude, I salute you for everything you two did in that match.
Thank
It
you.
was it was brutal. Crowd was yelling wall, wall, wall. Until you finally
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
My God,
I
it was
thought we
just
I thought we were ruthless, but the crowd was, they wanted to see some damage. They love that wall, and they love seeing me throw Mimi into it. So
I don't know how
it
many
worked
times you
out.
did it, but it was a lot.
Not compared to the last show. I did a record 5 times the last show, and I think this time was like 4 times. But yeah, man, she really put her mark on that wall, physically and mentally. Like that wall is part of her now. So, but yeah.
It's not to get graphic on here. Well, we also do X-Brand, but
Mhm.
um yeah, that was a brutal match. I am not gonna lie. And the way how you guys finished with the Spanish fly off the top rope, man, how well executed you planned
Mhm.
that was for remarkable finish, dude.
Mhm. And it's a thing you can practice a million times, but once the sweat started going and the blood started dripping, and 20 minutes has gone by, and you got to go on the shaky rope. You just gotta pray that everything goes well, and it did. And I was super happy with how it looked and how it turned out, and the crowd reaction was amazing. I think I might have terrified with this one kid. You can hear on every video of that finish. There's some kid just screaming like no. But yeah, it was definitely challenging, but it was so much fun. I've never done a street fight before, so and then I couldn't have asked for a perfect dance partner for that with Mimi.
Well,
So
it definitely showed you can hold your own in a street fight.
For sure. Once you're in it, there's really not much of a choice at that point. Not much options I have left at that point. So,
were you mentally prepared or just
um, I think it was a great mixture of being nervous and excited for it, because you're getting to you have growing up watching the Hardy Boys, it's like, oh man, I can do all this cool stuff now. But then you also got, this stuff hurts, man. And I also gotta keep in mind there is another person in the ring. I gotta make sure they're everyone's taken care of by the end of the night. Once the bell rings, we're all walking safe. And but yeah, man, that stuff was crazy, man. Still can't believe it. Most of my family showed up to watch,
really?
and they had no idea what was about to happen. So to see their responses, like legitimate responses, was chef's kiss. So
That was the most brutal match in Monster Factory history I've ever seen.
I've been told that a couple times. Yeah.
Now, was that
And
the first time there was bloodshed?
I don't think so, but I do think that's the first time that much blood was shed.
I was gonna say, because it was a lot.
There was
It was a lot.
It was a
The other
lot.
open.
It was not that is not a
You
Monster
busted
Factory
the
norm.
other open. First, she busted you open, then you busted her open.
Yeah. That's not a Monster Factory norm.
No.
But
No.
it just felt like a I don't know. It just like this. It was gonna be different. We knew that much going into it, that we're about to show these people something special, but I didn't know how special we were about to go. Like there was so much of it, so much so we used 2 canvases for the ring, and it soaked through the first one and got onto the second one.
Wow.
My bad, Dan. But it turned out fine. Yeah, I'd watching my parents' reaction to it was hilarious to me.
Was there any concern from your family during the
No,
match?
not necessarily. Maybe from my stepmom. She did not want to watch some of the times. But no, there wasn't too much concern about it. I think we did me and Mimi did do proper testing for this match. But as far as like reactions, people wanted it. When they first saw me, the crowd demanded, Mimi get hers. Which is that says more about y'all than it says about me.
Yes.
you crazy people, like. So
Get the people what they want.
Exactly.
All right, so Chris, so what is next for you? You say you've been in the Monster Factory for about 3 years now?
So I've been at the Monster Factory for about 5.5 years now.
5.5.
And I'm at the top of the game right now, right? Monster Factory champion. And a lot of people can say a lot of people have opinions on what championships mean in wrestling, but to me, I now represent a brand that I'm proud to be a part of. And so I feel like I now hold the responsibility of making this title important, making my time with it important. So I want the very best. And, to start off my very first titles defense in a street fight with Mimi, the bar is set pretty high. but I'm looking forward to the challenges that it brings, to me as a performer, as a wrestler, as a talker, as X, Y, and Z. I'm just looking forward to the next challenge. I just want the people to know that their faith in me is not going to go wasted, and hopefully I'm one of the best damn Monster Factory champions this place has seen. So
And leading up to that match, you have never defeated Mimi, correct?
that is correct. She was 0-5 against, or 5-0. Sorry, 5-0 against
Jesus.
me, and
Yeah. 5-0.
odds were in her favor.
Right.
You
Right.
know, but yeah, it was a great feeling. I was like, finally got one over on her. Sure, it took a chair and a door and
Wall.
some trash cans and kendo sticks,
Oh
but hey, I got
yes,
the job done. So
that's right.
That's right.
So, uh, any more plugs and upcoming bookings?
well, the one I'm most excited for is April 20th, 2 p.m. at the Monster Factory for We Been Here. Uh, I don't know who my opponent is yet, but that again, that's part of the nature of the beast. I am excited for the next challenge. Um, Whoever it may be, I'm ready to step up if they're ready to step up. Uh, so I'm looking forward to that. Um, and we'll see. We'll see what else is on the horizon. Um Setting out a few feelers, and I'll announce them as we go. But for right now, that is a main focus of mine is April 20th at the Monster Factory.
And how can you be booked?
Oh, how can I be booked? At desmond.bookings@gmail.com, or you can just message me on Instagram. It's the platform I use most. I do have an X. I don't use it that much. I also have Threads. I still don't know. I don't even use that much either. I don't even know what it is. I think it's just bootleg X, right?
Right.
But yeah, Instagram. You can DM me on Instagram. But yeah,
That's Desmond underscore MFPW.
yes, on Instagram. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so let's play a game here. It's pretty much this or that.
Okay.
We can all play. We can all play. Just go in
Fantastic.
order.
Ooh.
You can go first, Desmond.
Okay.
Sega or Nintendo?
Nintendo.
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
I'm
LA.
Sega.
Go ahead.
Oh, Coke or Pepsi?
No. I got no. Just answer
Oh,
the
it's a,
questions.
oh no. Nintendo for me. Yeah.
Uh,
I was a Sega guy. All right,
yeah.
so
Yeah. I don't mean to like age myself or you guys, but I think Sega was a little before my time. So.
okay, okay.
I had both, and I continued with both. I was a
Yeah.
Purple
gamer,
or green?
still am.
You're just a gamer.
Purple or
Alright.
purple or green grapes?
Oh. Oh.
Mm.
Shit. Green. I have to go with green.
Green.
Purple.
Green.
It's funny you say green and purple, but they're called red and white.
Ah, it's true. That's true.
Which is weird because that's not the color of them at
Right.
all.
Not at all.
Right. Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme?
Oh, neither. Hold on. Here, I got Tim Hortons right here. So
Oh,
yeah, neither of
Okay.
those.
oh,
I've already shared my opinion on Krispy Kremes. They're terrible. I don't like them. They taste so artificial. No, thank you. Dunkin's probably a good second best, but Tim Hortons is there's like one 5 minutes away from me, so that's my place to go.
I guess I'll go Duncan.
Duncan, because I haven't seen a Tim Hortons for a while.
Jason sent Tim Hortons.
I'll go Duncan.
Okay.
Apple or Android?
Oh. I recently switched to Apple.
Oh,
I did start off with an Android, and then my brother was like, "You should just try like an iPhone," and I'm like, "Okay, sure." I don't know the difference between the two. I couldn't tell you. They're both the same. I use them for the same things. Their features mean nothing to me. Um, I am a simple man living a simple life. If I can text, call, and use the internet, that's all I need.
Right.
But as far as I guess for the sake of me having an Apple iPhone, I guess I'll go with Apple.
Android.
Apple.
Android.
I can tell by your disappointment when I said Apple.
Because that's what you said you switched. Because I was always Android, and then my
Mhm.
family told me to switch to Apple,
Hmm.
and then I was so disappointed ever since. I can't wait to go back to Android.
Yeah, I feel like I'm so used to iPhone now. It's just like, what's the point of just switching over at this point? So, uh,
Best pizza topping, worst pizza topping.
oh,
Mm.
oh, oh, don't look at me like that. So, someone's watching this interview and they're judging me. So, all right. So the best pizza topping is buffalo chicken. The worst topping is mushroom. I said it. I keep your dirt off my pizza.
Fungus.
Alright, so the worst is mushroom. I agree with that. And for me, the best one is chicken bacon ranch.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Hmm
Pepperoni is the best. Anchovies.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's it. Yep.
Yeah, I like bacon the best on my
Oh,
pizza, and the worst is gotta be mushrooms, anchovies. Yeah.
okay. All right. So let me ask you a follow up.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about pineapple on pizza?
I'll take it.
Hawaiian,
I'll
man.
take it.
Hawaiian pizza.
Will the Thrill, you became my new favorite person. Thank you. Like you understand the deliciousness of a pineapple on pizza.
Sweet, dude.
I've never paid for pineapple on pizza, but I've had it when I worked at a pizza shop.
I think it's best. Like, all right, so you can't have pineapple by itself. It has to be paired with a protein. So, my favorite is bacon and pineapple. So,
Okay.
What about like pineapple love? Say jalapeno, bacon, and pineapple.
add, add a little spice to your life.
You're right.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Oh God.
This is my
Uh,
round, man.
this is so hard. I'm gonna. So I play Xbox the most, but I'm gonna go with PlayStation.
Yes. PlayStation.
Just like because I grew up on the PlayStation 2, and
hmm
then I
hmm
just I had the only reason I got an Xbox was to play Call of Duty online, and back in the Modern Warfare 2 days, and then PlayStation started coming out with all these cool exclusives, and I'm like, now I'm missing out. Because Xbox exclusives I don't really care for. They're not my
They're
cup of
not your
tea.
type.
Yeah, so I'm going with PlayStation.
What a
Willie.
thrill.
Oh man, this is tough because, like I said, I'm like
Torn.
the scale of justice because I have
Just say
both.
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 I'm PlayStation.
Mhm.
Miller Lite, Bud Light.
Now you're really asking the tough one.
Right?
God. I'm gonna go with Bud Light. Yep. I'm just we'll keep it at that.
Bud Light.
At the end of the day, beer's beer, but Bud Light.
Bud Light.
I'll go Miller Lite.
Okay to be wrong.
I'm
Well,
not much of a beer drinker, but if I'm with you guys, I'll have whatever.
Hers or Lay's?
Oh, Lay's, easy.
I'm a hers.
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 Oh,
But
what is
Lay's
happening?
are good too. I cannot
They're good
front.
too. Yeah.
What is happening?
It's a
Especially
tough
the
one.
pickle Lay's.
All right, stop that. No, pickles, ew. A pickle chip. What is going on? No, I take back what I said, Thrill. You know, you had me with the pineapple, but you just took it away with that pickle chip thing. No. Just ruined it.
Uh,
Pizza Hut or Domino's?
Pizza Hut. Sorry, Pizza Hut.
oh, hands
I
down,
know where
pizza.
I know where I stand on that, and I refuse to answer any other questions that relate to it. Pizza Hut is the answer.
Pizza Hut.
Now, would you put pineapple on that pizza?
Of course.
We can be back. We can be back, Bundle Bros.
Oh,
Bundle
you
Bros.
Did you guys go? Will?
Yeah.
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut? All right.
Pizza Hut, yep.
it is. All right, I think we got one more.
Alright.
TJ and Mimi or Nick Petit and Brian Mars?
Ooh, put him on the spot.
oh, that's bad.
Actually, you know what? This answer is actually easier than you think. It's nothing against anybody, but just because of their the way they've helped shape my wrestling career and how helpful they've always been. I'll go with TJ and Mimi. I could never thank them enough for how they helped me during my time at the Monster Factory. And you know, I've always had great chemistry with these guys. And you know, Mimi's the toughest person I've ever been in the ring with. Travis is probably one of the hardest hitting guys I've ever been in the ring with. But you know, they've always looked out for me, and they've gave me great advice. And you know, World Renowned sucks without me. So
They always
TJ
did suck.
I don't know what you're talking about. We were great when I was there. I don't know what they're doing now, so that kind of says something. I don't know, but yep, that's my answer for that one.
And you will be facing TJ this Friday, I believe.
That is correct.
Ooh.
At TRL,
Nice.
we're clashing on Friday. So I get it's gonna be a great month for me. First I beat Mimi, then I beat Travis. You know, the Heavenly Icons. They're gonna both lose to me. It's gonna be a wonderful March for everybody. So,
Is the title on the line or is it non-title?
oh, you know what? That's a great question because I don't even know.
To
I
be
guess we'll
determined.
find out. Well, you'll find out this Friday at TRL at the Monster Factory in Paulsboro, New Jersey, 541 Mantua Avenue. So, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
So maybe it's time you put him in the trash can.
Oh, I was hoping that wasn't gonna be brought up. How dare you? That was such a. I smelled
Such a
so
Willie Tiny
bad.
move.
I smelled so bad when the night was over. I had stuff thrown at me. I had soda and some trash, and the pictures are not flattering at all. They're the worst pictures of me that have ever been taken, and I have him to blame. You know what? And now I have a vendetta, a bigger vendetta against him.
Yeah.
after that.
Maybe these guys can have a dumpster match.
That's crazy. You know, it's so
Ooh.
crazy. I completely forgot about that until you brought that up. Like I can't. That night was kind of. I hated that whole bit. Like it was my idea to begin with. I told him, "Hey, just throw me in there," and then I was like, now I'm like, then I got legitimately stuck in it, and I needed help to get out, and nobody was listening to me, so I was stuck in there, and I had to kind of like throw myself onto the floor just to get out. Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, if I'll give everyone $10 to delete their photos of that night. So.
Oh wait.
All right. So, Chris Desmond, the
Mhm.
question of the night. We ask all our guests this question:
Okay.
past, present, future. Your dream opponent. What kind of match? And who would get over?
Um. Ooh, that's a tough one. Um. I think um it would have to be uh me versus Jeff Hardy in an Extreme Rules match. Uh and I don't really care. I don't care who goes over or not. I just want that match. You give me Jeff is such a biggest inspiration in what I do for wrestling. Um he he was a big inspiration just in life in general, and he is the only person of the Hardy of Team Extreme I haven't met yet. I've met Matt, I've met Lita, I haven't met Jeff yet. So, he's one of my idols in wrestling. I would love to wrestle Jeff in an Extreme Rules match. I'm sure it will go swimmingly. Uh, the crazy stuff that he can come up with, the crazy stuff I can come up with. I think it would be magical. Um, but yeah, I do have. I'm gonna throw in another one just because I've been chomping at the bit for it. I would love to have a one-on-one match. I think this is a little more realistic, but a one-on-one match for the Monster Factory title against David Goldie. Um,
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like
I
it, like it.
Yeah, me and Goldie have wrestled, in tag matches. We had one singles match when I was like in my rookie year. Wasn't great, but I think, you know, he's another guy I always looked up to. So I would love to have a one-on-one with him at some point. Um, but yeah, those are my two right there.
Okay. Good answer. I want to chime in before because the funny thing is, Chris, I
Mhm.
actually figured Jeff Hardy just because I could see the match, an Extremes Rule match, even at the Monster Factory. That was the
Okay.
place I actually had in mind for it.
Yeah.
Somewhere where you're stomping ground.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And like you said, Jeff Hardy is an inspiration to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, in the ring and also outside of the ring as well.
Mhm.
He pauses and takes photos, does the whole nine, not afraid to talk to anybody. And yeah, so that was actually my dream opponent. So when you were talking, you hit it right on the noggin, dude.
Mhm.
And knowing Jeff, he would want you over, and of course applaud you afterwards, like he always does, for
Yeah.
putting on a banger of a match with.
Hey man, John Alba keeps in contact with Matt, so I know if we can get it done somehow, that'd be awesome. But
Right.
yeah, I think that would be fun. It'd be fun to do. But yeah,
And would be fun to see you take on David Goldie.
Yeah.
it
I
sure
mean,
would.
like you said, it was early in your start to see how far you grown against him. It would be a banger, a
Hmm.
Yeah,
banger after banger.
Bang.
yeah. I mean, he had like a great series with Brian Morris recently, and just to watch their chemistry, and I'm like, oh man, I'm chomping at the bit for a one-on-one. You know, I don't know how Goldie feels about it, but uh, I'm calling you out right now. But yeah, no,
Make
I
it
think
happen.
I have a lot of respect for Goldie, so I think I would love to have that one on one at some point. Uh, and hey, if it never happens, whatever. I know he's scared of me. It's fine. Whatever.
Heard it here first, folks.
The champ
Uh,
is here. The champ is here.
Do we have any more questions?
I have one for you, Chris.
yes, sir.
Is there any Monster Factory alum that like in a couple years from now, you want to see yourself in? Like people that have moved on from the Monster Factory to bigger and better things.
Um, how do you mean? Do you mean like someone I want to like get in the ring with, or
No, it's just like how like Damian Priest, he was a
yeah, yeah,
Monster
yeah.
Factory alum. Now he's like in the big leagues, or
Right, right.
like former champ. Like how do you see yourself like that or anyone else?
Oh, ah, man, I'm gonna talk about them until I have no more breath in me. I think I think I can't wait for the day that Mimi is back on TV.
Hmm.
Um, I think she is such a great talent to be around and to have on the shows. Like, um, I've got to watch her like literally in the past 2 weeks, see her at different like venues and watch her work, and she can like work with anybody. She's tough as nails, and whether you like her or boo her, she's going to get a reaction from you. So I can't wait for her to you know quote unquote spread her wings again. Um, so I think not too far along she'll be on TV again, um, and again, I'll be right there to great job. So I'll always prop her up. She's so cool. I That's why I steal her entire move set. It's awesome. Uh, so, but yeah, I think I can't. She'll definitely be. Um, when you talk Monster Factory alumni, Notorious Mimi will definitely be on that poster or wall or whatever it is.
I Joe Hale has a question. He couldn't.
All right.
He said he wants to know what was it like when the Monster Factory came to ECW Arena and you wrestled there at the 2300 building.
Oh, brother. So overall, I think it was a super special moment for everyone at the Monster Factory. A lot of people busted their ass for a moment like this. Especially it was like the finale for the Apple TV series, Monster Factory. Um, for me, I got to with my tag team partner Jason Morgan at the time. We cut a promo, uh, digging into the old ECW crowd and the ECW legends or whatnot. Um, there's actually, if you watch it back, there's a comment. D'Lo Brown is like burying me on commentary. It's like one of my proudest moments. I loved it. And and then we're in this rumble match, and then we get eliminated by the Blue Meanie and Pitbull Gary Wolf. So I guess it was a nice let's talk some crap about the ECW guys and then get thrown out by the ECW guys. It was awesome. Um, I think it was a little bittersweet because shortly after that, I joined World Renowned, and World Renowned had like a spotlight match on the show, and I'm just like, I was right there, just so close um, to having um, like a proper match. But I can't complain to have that opportunity to be in that arena after everything it's seen in its wrestling history. It was something special, especially when your whole family is there to watch and they're watching you just get your ass kicked the entire time. But it was awesome. It was great. Uh, I think, but again, I think it just shows that um, Monster Factory is definitely a brand that people should pay attention to. We got a lot of heavy hitters, and there's a lot of talent there, ready to spread their wings to bigger and better things.
That's what's up.
I got one. How was it having a match with Wildfire Tommy Rich?
Oh, brother, it was such a weird experience, right? It's like I'm dressed up as Jason Voorhees, and um, Wonder Boy Brian Morris is dressed up as Michael Myers on the other side, and we have like a minute long moment in the ring, just like trying to like slash each other with these weapons we brought to the ring that aren't real at all, uh, and then just making the tag, and then it was just so surreal. Like, what is my life? That I'm at the 2300 arena. I'm dressed up as Jason Voorhees. First of all, the shortest Jason Voorhees you've ever seen in your life. Uh, that was a big thing that people said to me on the way to the ring. Like, look how tiny he is. And, so not only I'm dressed up as Jason Voorhees at the 2300 arena, I'm teaming up with Wildfire Time and Red. I'm just like, what is life right now? It was a real special moment, and I have to thank Missy Sampson for getting me that opportunity. Um, Missy called me maybe like a week or two before the show. It was just like, hey, do you own one of these costumes? And I'm like, yeah, I own a bunch. Halloween's my thing. And she was like, great, you're going to be in a tag match with Tommy Rich. And I'm like, what's happening? And this was, yeah. So, and, crowd went nuts over Tommy Rich. And I'm just like, wow, I'm part of this. We shook hands afterwards. It was just like, it was the damnedest thing I've ever seen. But it was really cool to be a part of.
There you go.
That's awesome.
That's
Well,
awesome.
I'm glad you say you like Halloween, because I was gonna ask you like about your buddy right there next to you.
Oh, that's Jerry. Hold up. Say hi, Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
So you might recognize Jerry. He actually made he made a TRL debut last year as Mark Raspa Jr. He wrestled Brian Morris as Mark Raspa Jr. and Brian Powell gave him a Powell driver. His neck actually works weird now after that. But yeah, it's my good old buddy there. So
That's good. Poor Jerry.
Poor Jerry.
Is that it? Any more questions?
I think that's it.
All right,
That's it.
time to take it home.
oh man,
All right, Chris, you don't have to go anywhere yet. We're gonna play our outro music, and then we're
man.
gonna
I
end the
just
stream.
thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, dude, thank you.
So don't go nowhere yet.
Let's get ready to rumble! This is the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast.
All right, everybody. This was the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast with Chris Desmond. Everybody, have a good night.
Don't
Good night.
forget to like, comment, or subscribe.
Yeah.